Hello everybody, my name is Jonas Jentsch and I welcome you to our today's webinar titled The Easy Way of Tableting Excipient Premixes for Direct Compression. First, let us go through some commonly known tablet manufacturing methods. We know the wet granulation, the dry granulation, so as the roller compaction, and of course direct compression. Therefore, it is really important to consider certain parameters, such as the uniformity and disintegration time of the drug, as well as the hardness and friability of the final dosage form. Just saying, we are not going to take a closer look at each of the steps, but the purpose of this figure is to show how process steps can be shortened, or rather, to visualize the cut down from 9 to 4 steps. The associated advantages are saved time, reduced energy consumption, and reduced exposure to moisture or high temperatures for the API. However, the use of special, carefully selected direct compression excipients is required due to possible segregation or inhomogeneity, poor flow properties of the drug, and poor compressibility of many drugs. As a conclusion, we can say it is absolutely useful for moisture or heat-sensitive drugs. On the other hand, a good flowability and a good compressibility of the ingredients is advisable. Furthermore, a low uniformity of the API could create certain problems. A challenging compressible API can require the following excipients which are presented on this slide. So the filler or diluent is a bulking agent which increases the weight and the volume of the drug product that enables the patients to take the medicine. Furthermore, we have disintegrants, binders, substances regulating the pH, glidants, colorants, or also flavoring substances and lubricants. But we come to this later. This table lists widely used and on the market available fillers. The advantages and disadvantages will be explained through microscopic pictures later on the next slide. You see different calcium carbonates, for example, Decafos from Budenheim, microcrystalline cellulose, for instance, Avicel from FMC, lactose, the Flowlac from Meckle, starch, for instance, Unipure, sugar and sugar alcohols, so as perlitol from Roquette. Okay, let's go through the microscopic pictures of each of the compounds because, as I said, the pictures, they provide information about their behavior. Decafos is stone-like, so it looks stony, but therefore it has a good flowability and a low lubricant sensitivity, but on the other hand, it is quite oppressive to tablet tooling. Microcrystalline cellulose is spongy-like, ductile, belongs to the plastic deformable compounds, has really good binding functions, but due to the sharp edges, it prevents a good flow of the powder at the end. Then the third one, the lactose, is also plastic deformable, suitable for wet granulation, but on the other hand, not inert with amine drugs. This is really important. All in all, we can conclude calcium phosphate have really good compaction properties, allowing preparation of hard tablets. Calcium phosphate exhibit excellent flowability, and they enable to govern the flow pattern of poorly flowable powders, so they are helping. Owing to very high porosity, they can significantly reduce the disintegration time. Several different grades of microcrystalline cellulose are commercially available that differ in the method of manufacturing, particle size, moisture, and also the flow. Primarily, it is used as a binder or diluent in oral tablets and also in capsules. Also, it has some, let's say, lubricant or disintegrant properties. Microcrystalline cellulose is incompatible with strong oxidizing agents. The next chapter will be about a binder. A pharma binder in general is what essentially holds together the ingredients of a solid oral dosage form. Let us take a closer look on the microscopic pictures of common used binders again. On the left is common HPC. It has also again sharp edges that disables the powder to flow properly. Middle is the fine powder, small particles which enables the formulation of interparticular bridges during the compaction process. And on the right, we have the superfine powder, which can get into small gaps in between non-roundish particles. Another commonly used binder is PVP, or better known under the registered trademark Collidone. The left hand shows the spray-dried powder consisting of hollow spheres and debris, and the right hand, we see fine PVP sprayed to achieve thick holosphere walls with a minimum amount of debris. What we have done here is a comparison between the tablet hardness of several binders. Furthermore, we proved the influence of various tablet compression forces. The tests were carried out with a sample formulation on my right. Yeah? So with fillers, vitamin, tri-binder, disintegrant, microcrystalline cellulose, and silica. In case of PVP and HPC, the fine powder compares best. Yeah, so we can see the fine powder here from Collidone and here from the superfine HPC, and the tablet hardness is at the maximum of this graph. This graph shows the impact of the binder on the disintegration time. This is essential that the tablet disintegrates within the prescribed time when we place them in a liquid medium. The super binder takes longest, but don't worry, this is all within the scope. We have always values below 180 seconds, which is totally fine. In order to achieve the best properties from several excipients, detailed knowledge of individual properties and combination thereof is required. Excipients need to be selected really carefully, and so-called particle engineering demands certain development effort. Therefore, we now continue with BIOGRUND's binder premixes. Let us take a closer look at the functional binder premixes. They differ in the capital letter at the end, which give you already a little bit an idea about the function. The first one is compact cell sil, which is a Clident and tri-binder. Compact cell flow, which just improves the flowability and loosens up powder mixtures. Compact cell loop is a lubricant and tri-binder and could also replace magnesium stearate, for instance. Compact cell MAB is a moisture-absorbent tri-binder, which also makes it possible to incorporate oily substances in powder with purely natural ingredients. And the last one, compact cell taste covering TC, is also a tri-binder and provides taste covering characteristics for neutralizing bad tasting actives. Just mentioning that parts of those products are also available in organic quality. For instance, compact cell sil is a variable formulation according to your needs and also according to your active behavior. Yeah? So it's not like a Hawker's trait that we have a standard and we say you need to use this formulation. Yeah? We are really flexible here. And the usual, we mix it out of HPC or PVP, sodium CMC, and silica. This study here will show the influence of various tri-binder amounts on tablet hardness and friability. Those are commonly measured values to evaluate a tablet. The selected active in this case is glucosamine sulfate. The investigated formulation was glucosamine sulfate, various contents of compact cell, magnesium stearate, cross-camellose, microcrystalline cellulose, and once we have increased the compact cell sil content, we decrease the filler microcrystalline cellulose. The formula were prepared by simple blending without wet granulation or pre-compaction. This is an important fact to keep in mind. For the tablet hardness, we used an Erica device. The friability was tested by a pharma test, and the tablets were produced by a coarse rotary tablet press. Here on this graph is the hardness plotted against the turret speed. Increasing the turret speed results in a significant decrease of the hardness. This is explainable by dosage variation due to flow difficulties of the powder from the hopper into the dies. Good flowability is essential to develop a reproducible production process, so really, really important. On this graph, we have plotted the friability against the binder content. The increased compact cell silk content decreases the friability percentage. Those results show, on the other hand, no significant relation to the turret speed, so they are always quite equal. Using already 1% of our dry binder causes in friability values lower than 0.3%. And tablets without dry binders, maybe you remember from the formulation before, they broke, which means that the test failed, so they are not listed here. To conclude the study, we can record compact cell still increases the hardness up to 2.5 times. It has a significant positive influence on the friability, and it enables faster reproducible production processes. And it's possible to produce tablets by direct compression in only one step. The next study here shows the influence of various lubricants on the ejection force. The aim is to replace synthetic lubricants with natural ingredients to make it more clean label. The tests, they have been performed in cooperation with Romaco Kilian. The used device is a single stroke press named Style 1. You can see it right here on the picture, next sample. The composition was mainly out of filler MCC and no active has been used here. We have done one formulation without any lubricant just for comparison reason. The ejection force here is plotted against the tested tablets, so the number of tablets is here below. Formulations without any lubrication and only rice starch, or the formulation with premixes only present with 0.5% are in the upper part of this graph, so right here. Stearic acid, which is a well-known lubricant, and the premixes with 1% in the formulation are comparable in their lubrication functionality, right here. The results show that combined power of a group of ingredients when they are working together is greater than the total power achieved by each working separately. In terms of compact cell loop, we are talking about the combination of cellulose, rice extracts, waxes, and oily ingredients. Another comparison was also done with magnesium stearate, and we achieved comparable results in this case. And it makes it possible to label your product more clean, as I said, instead of other chemical sounding words. The dry powder tablet premix BONUTAB allows the preparation of complete tablet mass in just one step by blending in the API. We have everything inside there what we would need for a tablet, so it's a whole tablet formulation in one. The BONUTAB contains everything. According to the customer needs, and depending on the API, the components can be individually adapted. It is a simplification of production process, leads to a number of advantages. Minimization of the setup and analysis costs, minimize risk of deviation in tablet weight or hardness, and of course, it is in regulatory compliance. Once again, with this slide, I want to point out that it contains really everything what we have shown in the previous part. Here we have an example of a colored BONUTAB formulation, for instance, with decalcium phosphate, microcrystalline cellulose, magnesium stearate, and to give it the yellow color, the iron oxide. The combination of decalcium phosphate and microcrystalline cellulose is frequently employed because of their synergistic effect. Decaphos brings brittleness and flow. MCC brings elasticity and improvement of the tablet strength. If you think back to the beginning where we saw the microscopic images, the following scheme concludes all relations really well. In terms of the Bonotop example we saw, the red marked ingredients are important. It is a perfect combination out of brittle flowing improving and parallel ductile compound giving enough tablet strength. To sum it up, I have listed all advantages again where you can take another look at. The last topic of today's webinar are sustained release matrix applications. Here we have two possibilities. We can do it with a coating or with a matrix, and today we focus, of course, on a matrix because we are talking about tableting excipients. This graph gives a rough idea about how a prolonged release profile looks in comparison of a fast release formulation. So the release process is much longer, the greenish line here, instead of the sustained release, the reddish one here. How does a matrix formulation works? After ingestion, the tablet surface wets. HPMC begins to hydrate, forming a so-called gel layer, and the drug near the surface is released. The water permeates into the tablet and increases the thickness of the gel layer. The soluble drug inside diffuses through the gel layer at the end. High bromellose types are characterized by the average degree of substitution and the ratio methyl and hydroxypropyl. This is symbolized by a 4-digit number. We have mentioned it here, the 4-digit number. The right ratio selection is crucial for the achievable hydration rate as well as the viscosity. No general valid statement can be found because it depends from case to case how much of each ingredient should be inside the tablet. Usually 10 up to 30% of polymer are needed, and the rest is split up into active substances and other excipients. BIOGRUND matrix products are the compact cell sustained release, which is a combination out of different viscosities and particle size of HPC and CMC. And of course, we have our brand bonus cell, where you can also select different viscosities and particle sizes, but it is just the HPMC, not a mixture. Yes, but now you may ask yourself, what is the benefit of using a combination out of HPMC and CMC instead of regular HPMC? And first argument is CMC swells quicker and bulks the gel layer. The HPMC needs much more time to build this gel layer, but therefore it is stable for a longer period of time. The combination of it benefits both advantages, and all in all, it is an adjustment of the adjustment of the release profile is much easier using our compact cell sustained release. The mentioned effects can be observed on this graph. First, not nearly 96% or more API is released after 2 hours due to the combination with CMC. Additionally, interesting is also the impact of the HPMC particle size on the API release. Below 200 μ, the release is slower, as you can see on the graph here. Below is this line here, and the other one is faster. So, as I said, several viscosities are available. We recommend following combinations. High viscous HPMC in combination with CMC for high soluble drugs, medium viscous HPMC and CMC for medium soluble actives, low viscous HPMC plus CMC for low soluble actives. Other combinations are of course available on request. The general advantage of this matrix is also a low cost potential, just saying. In order to finalize the webinar, here's a short summary. Direct compression is a short process for tablet manufacturing. Use of excipient premixes can positively influence the tablet process and the final product. BIOGRUND's tableting premixes improve the hardness, the friability, the lubrication, They act as moisture and oil absorbent ingredients. They support the disintegration, and they are suitable for sustained release profiles. And of course, if we are talking about a bad tasting API, they can also cover the bitterness of the API. Premixes for encapsulation are also available on request. And as a little add-on, also organic certified formulations are available in the near future. Thank you for attending to our webinar. If we have caught your interest, we will at your further disposal to do a closer discussion. Take care. Bye.